Right then, lads and lasses, how we doing, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Welcome back to the Geordie Josh channel, and welcome back for 5 PM news. In today's daily news video, we've actually got some quite exciting news, some, as usual, pretty unfortunate news, which we will get into, about James Trafford and Newcastle United. I thought this was a done deal 12 months ago. Craig Hope of the Mail Sport reported just around 12 months ago that there was going to be no sort of issues, that this would have been a done deal, of course. That is quite a bold statement. Anything can happen in the space of 12 months, absolutely anything. So that was quite an outrageous statement at the time, but it's obviously proved not to be true, because Newcastle United, as reported, and of course we will get into the whole story in detail, are £8 to £10 million away on valuation between agreeing to Burnley's asking price. Can we just put our foot down and please sign this man? I am so convinced he is going to be England and obviously Newcastle United's goalkeeper for the next 10 years. We've got more news on a potential Nick Pope departure, Anthony Elanga being pictured and videoed arriving at Newcastle United's training ground yesterday, and a lot more news. Some names that actually might surprise you in today's video. So without further ado, if you do enjoy, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new for all Newcastle United content. Without further ado, let's get into it. Firstly, as you may have seen via my social media, or even my good friend Adam Pearson, and of course this video that is going to come up on the screen is my friend Adam Pearson's video, so full credit to him. He took this, it's on his YouTube channel if you want to go and watch his video, but he went to the extreme length of going to the Newcastle United training ground yesterday to take a video of Anthony Elanga arriving at Benton Park, and as he did that, play the clip.
Yes, Anthony! Get it, son! Elanga! You did!
Do you know that little segment there when Elanga just got out of the car and the fans are shouting his name? Some very excited fans are shouting his name. He kind of went like that to the fans and then automatically dapped someone up because he knew he wasn't meant to do that, and it's kind of been disclosed. I did pick up on that. So thank you, Adam, for taking that video. Full credit to him. It is his video. But ladies and gentlemen, reported by Keith Downey on Nick Pope, Leeds United are showing an interest in Nick Pope this summer. Of course, they want to sign him, and there actually was some previous reports on this story. So there is genuine interest there from Leeds United. The goalkeeper's future at Newcastle is a concern, considering that Newcastle are in talks with Burnley's James Trafford. Nick Pope wants to stay at Newcastle regardless if James Trafford joins or stays at Burnley, and also Newcastle want to keep Nick Pope here. In my opinion, I would love to see Nick Pope and obviously Trafford as well, both at the club at the same time. I mean, it's kind of that Burnley and Newcastle United goalkeeper connection. Not that that's got anything to do with it. It's something that creates a little bit of competition, isn't it? James Trafford can play in this game, in the Carabao Cup. In my opinion, I would love to see James Trafford come in and hit the ground running, start week in, week out. He is at a great age where he needs that game time, especially with playing week in, week out with Burnley last season and doing incredible, regardless of being in the Championship. But the competition there is very healthy. We all know Nick Pope certainly wants to see, and there's no bad blood about James Trafford joining Newcastle United via that comment he put on his story, which he didn't realise was public, saying, "See you soon." Something I can't say, on James Trafford's thing. So we obviously want him to come. That competition will be very healthy, and you always need that competition, just like we need someone to compete with Alexander Isak, and I would love to see both players at the club. Nick Pope stay, we're not going to get an outrageous fee for him, and James Trafford join. Speaking of James Trafford, it's been reported by Craig Hope, and every other little bit of news, because we've got around 3 segments here, are all reported by journalist Craig Hope. He done a big exclusive article yesterday. But on James Trafford, Newcastle United and Burnley have made fresh talks on James Trafford, but have found themselves £8 to £10 million away on agreeing a valuation. Now, this is just getting infuriating. It does say that James Trafford wants to join Newcastle United, and I'm pretty sure we all know that he does want to join. He went on Ben Foster's podcast and basically said, I was in talks with a club the previous summer, obviously on about Newcastle United last season. Everything was right. I believed in the project. Everything was great for me. Obviously only about Newcastle United there, and the point still stands as well. I know full well, I'm not going to say anything, but I know full well, and promise me I'm not coming across as an ITK here, that James Trafford wants to join Newcastle United. I mean, it's literally been reported, obviously, but from my personal experience, James Trafford wants to join Newcastle United, and why wouldn't he? He seems like a great lad, an absolutely phenomenal footballer. Kept, 29 clean sheets last season? I don't care if he's playing in the Vanarama North National League. That is unbelievable. But of course, he did it in the Championship, a very, very unpredictable league. But ladies and gentlemen, yeah, for the sake of £8 to £10 million, someone who's going to be England's future goalkeeper, he's a very young age, 21 years old, I believe, or around that bracket. And he, of course, can play week in, week out for Newcastle United now. Of course, he's not going to be the finished product. He's not fully developed by any means, but he can play for Newcastle United now. I would even, and this might be a bold statement, but if it came down to the nitty gritty and we could afford to do it, I would genuinely pay £40 million for James Trafford, and especially if Newcastle United are bothering on with like the £2 to £3 million valuation, Chelsea come in and they just say, there's £45 million. Well, there's our top target for the last 2 seasons over. Moving on from James Trafford though, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of a shame that Newcastle have not stepped that up yet. Something that surprised me though in the next bit of news to get through, Newcastle United have held talks in the last fortnight, the last 2 weeks, which have discussed Ollie Watkins and Brentford's Johan Wissa. Johan Wissa, we'll speak about him separately, but Ollie Watkins, I can't see him leaving Aston Villa, especially not just for that fact in itself, but to become a backup to Alexander Isak. I mean, there was once upon a time, and I did have a little dig at Aston Villa fans on Twitter about this, that Alexander Isak and Ollie Watkins were compared as strikers. Sorry, I forgot it was April Fool's Day. But yeah, that actually happened, by the way, and I can't believe that did. I honestly, some people are having a go at me for this, by the way, but I've genuinely never, ever thought Ollie Watkins was a fantastic player. Yes, he's been a great striker for Aston Villa. He's been prolific at times, especially against Newcastle United, which I can say sometimes I have ate my own words out of my mouth with Ollie Watkins. But he's never, like, surprised me to say, oh my God, what a player. Why he was linked with Arsenal not long ago, I do not know, but I can't see that happening whatsoever. Anyways, for Johan Wissa, who currently has 11 months left on his Brentford contract, also, I believe the club have a 1-year extension that the club can trigger, so if they are going to sell him, of course they're going to trigger that to maximise their profit. But I really like Johan Wissa. He's rapid, he's versatile, I believe he can play across the front three, but as we all know, he can play it on the wings and at striker. This guy, we all know, ladies and gentlemen, he may not look the most aesthetically pleasing, just like Brian and Burmore, the little case with him having a bald head, sorry to any bald viewers. He might not have the best name, he might not look the best, but he's a bloody good player, and that's all I care about. I don't care about any of this cold or aura, anything like that. Johan Wissa is a proper player. And with the short amount of time on his contract, even if they do extend that 12-month little trigger, I would still like to see Newcastle United put that bid in for that forward depth that we need. We've always spoke about buying a versatile forward. It's always been in the media, even before the 2025-26 season, even before the 2024-25. So if Newcastle United want it, go and get Wissa. He's not exactly 23 years old, but he is, yet again, a bloody good player. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of news I've found quite interesting, and of course I will explain it in detail. Craig Hope reported Manchester City do have genuine interest in Tino Livramento. As we all know, that's not furthered, it is just interest. Who wouldn't be interested in Tino Livramento? He's a fantastic player. But Man City said they would go to £65 million for Tino Livramento. I'm going to get onto that separately in a second. Newcastle apparently, reportedly, would not even sell him for £165 million to Manchester City. Now, of course, that is just a figure of speech because 65 million, 165, essentially, he's not for sale. That's what Craig Hope's trying to say. £165 million, by the way. I mean, Tino, I love you, son. But I'm joking. It is a lot of money, however, though. Anyways, though, Manchester City would go to £65 million for Tino. Who do these guys actually think they are? Don't get me wrong, I've been to the Etihad 4 times as an away fan, and Man City's fans are genuine, pure. I really like them, but pardon my French here. If you don't want to hear any swear words, please mute it for around 2 seconds. But are they taking the piss? £65 million for someone who's not only quite literally just recently won the under-21 Euros, but is a fantastic player. He's at a very young age. He's capped by England. He can play right back, he can play left back, he can probably play left back better than he can play right back in my opinion, but he's versatile, he's unbelievable going forward, he's definitely improved that side of his game, getting an assist in the Carabao Cup final with his weak foot, by the way, playing on his weaker side. No, £65 million is an insult, ladies and gentlemen, it must be said. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy the video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new for... I was going to try and spell out all with my hands there. I don't know why. All Newcastle United content. I'm absolutely cracker-jackers sometimes, honest to God. But there we have it, lads and lasses. Yet again, I've been Geordie Josh. Go have a lovely, lovely day. I do this every single time. I've been Geordie Josh. Go and enjoy your day, people.